Hello all, I'll be doing a quick test Q review of the Unit 7 test for math. Next week we'll be testing for math, so I just want to go over what's going to be on the test, read it to you, and then just be able to walk you through what's going to be asked in these questions. For number 1, it says for exercises 1A through 1D, write greater than or less than to make the inequality true. So basically what you have to do for 1A through 1D is you have to choose greater than or less than. Remember the rules when comparing. For number 2, it says choose the numbers from the tiles to make equivalent fractions from the least possible denominator. So basically what that's looking for you to do is they want you to put it in simplest form. But remember, when putting it in the simplest form, that is also making an equivalent fraction. So do your best to make 18/24 into simplest form. For number 3, the table shows a spice blend Katrina is making. She records the mass of each spice in the table. Which two spices have the same mass? What you have to do here, boys and girls, is you have to look at the table and see which decimal is equivalent or the same. Reminder, what do the zeros mean? And for the last question on the first page, number 4, in a survey, 8 of 10 of the students that they read a book last night. Compete the fraction equation. So, what they're showing in number 4 is you have 8/10. Now, what is an equivalent fraction if they have hundredths as the denominator? Think about what they would have done to go from 10 to 100. On the next page, we have questions 5, 6, and 7. For number 5, it says Ryan Street is 5/8 mile long. Select a length that is shorter than 5/8. Mark all that apply. When it says mark all that apply, boys and girls, there's a very good chance that there is more than one correct answer. Go through. If you have to do the butterfly method to compare, that's okay, but compare the fractions to see which one is actually shorter or smaller than 5/8. For number 6, it says, on average, a baby human spends about 2/3 of the day sleeping. A giant armadillo spends about 3/4 of the day sleeping. A koala spends about 11/12 of the day sleeping. For exercises 6A through 6D, choose true or false to the best describe the statement. So, go through each of these and see which one makes the most sense. You have to say true or false. For number 7, Josh and Bradley each bought a carton of milk. Their cartons, were the same, except Bradley's carton was taller than Josh's. Each boy drank 1/4 of his milk. So now, what I want you to think about is, let's say you order a large pizza and a small pizza. If you cut those pizzas into 4 slices each, which pizza is going to have the larger slice? Remember, if you're making fractions, they have to be of the same size whole. Otherwise, that fraction will not make sense. I'm going to go through one more page of the test, going through questions 8 through 11 now. There are 19 total. I will make another video for next week. For number 8, it says locate and draw a point on the number line for the fraction or mixed number. Then label it with its corresponding letter. So, there are going to be 10 equal parts in between each whole number. Some of these numbers that you have to put on the number line, such as letter A, you have 2.5. Now, if there are equal parts of 10 between each whole, the denominator should be 10. But you'll see different numbers such as 2, 5, and 4 as the denominator. Think about how you could simplify that fraction to equal that same fraction. For numbers 9A through 9C, what you have to do is show again equivalent fractions. If you start with letter A, 2/7, what did you do to 7 in the denominator to make it 14, 21, and 28? You'd have to do whatever you do to the bottom, the same thing to the top. After you practice with those equivalent fractions, for number 10, they would like you to make 5 equivalent fractions of 1/5. And finally, number 11, a snake has a length of 67 hundredths meter. Write 67 hundredths in decimal form. Boys and girls, that is the first 11 questions on the test that you'll be taking next week. This test cue review is here to help you. If you have questions, you can still contact your teacher, but please watch this video to help you do the best that you can and succeed on the Unit 7 test.